Everybody, it's time for another edition of Baking Your Jammies. We're going to do one more fall themed recipe before we get into Christmas baking, and today we're going to make pumpkin cheesecake. Pumpkin cheesecake is easy and fun and delicious and perfect for this week of Thanksgiving. So the first thing that we're going to do is prepare all of our, make sure that we have all of our ingredients and that we have the proper equipment. So you do need a cheesecake pan for this, or you can make it in a pie pan. Now, if you don't have a cheesecake pan, you can use two. I would use two pie pans because it's just going to get too thick. But we're going to make it with a crumbed crust, and I like my ginger snap crust. Again, you could use this with any cookie crust that you want, being graham crackers or Lorna Doones or pecan sandies, or any kind of a sweet cookie crust. But you need 2.5 cups of crushed crumbs and a stick of butter, and that's what's going to make our crust. And for our filling, we need 3 8-ounce packages of softened cream cheese, a cup of sugar, 3 tablespoons of flour, a 15-ounce can of pureed pumpkin, not pumpkin pie filling, but pureed pumpkin, a 1/4 cup of sour cream, a teaspoon of vanilla, and then cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, and ginger for our spices, and then 4 eggs. So we're going to get started with the crust. I have crushed my packet of ginger snaps, and I have maybe a little bit more than 2.5 cups, but I'm going to use that whole package. And then I have my stick of melted butter. So we're just going to mix this together. I have my oven preheated for my crust. We're only going to bake our crust for just about 10 minutes just to set it. So I have my oven preheated at 350, and I have prepped my pan by just greasing it with the butter wrapper that I took off when I melted the butter. So we're just going to mix in our crumbs and our melted butter. Just get that good and mixed, and then we're going to put it in our pan. Now, you can put it as much as you want up the sides of the pan, or just pressing it into the bottom, depending on how you like your cheesecake to be. I like it up just a little bit up on the sides of my pan. Okay, so we have that all mixed in together. All right, now we're just going to take clean hands and just press this into our springform pan. Now, the other trick of making your cheesecake is that when you're going to bake this afterwards, now not for the crust, but when we're going to bake it with our cheesecake in it, you can line this with some aluminum foil, because we're going to bake this, remember, in a water bath. If you've been with me for my other cheesecakes, when we did our apple cheesecake, we did bake that in a water bath. And that just ensures then that no water is going to leak in. Sometimes I've had pans where it just leaks a little bit, and then your crust gets soggy. So we're just going to press this in and bake it for 10 minutes at 350. Alrighty, it's now time to make our filling. So I have 3 8-ounce packages that have been softened of cream cheese. I've had them out for about an hour, and I have been just mixing that up here in my mixer. Now again, with any cheesecake, you don't want to whip this till it's really fluffy. You want to mix it till it's smooth, because the more air that you incorporate into it, the more it's going to crack when you bake it. So I have my 3 packages of cream cheese in here, and now I'm going to add in a cup of sugar. And I'm going to add in 3 tablespoons of flour. And the flour just helps to make it thickened. We're going to mix that. And then to this, we're going to add in 1 can of pumpkin, and we're going to add in our spices. And our spices, a teaspoon of vanilla, 3 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of cloves, and a teaspoon and a half of ginger. Now, if you don't like any of those spices, certainly you can leave them out, or if you want more, if you like it spicier, you can certainly add in more of those. Okay, so that's mixed in, and now I'm going to add in my pumpkin. So I have a can, 1 can of pureed pumpkin. always have trouble with this, getting the pumpkin in here. Okay, so there's our pumpkin, and then I'm going to add in all of my spices and my vanilla. Okay, I'm going to just stop this and scrape it down. That cream cheese is sticky, and you want to make sure that it's getting all mixed in and all incorporated. Yeah, it smells good. Okay, give that another mix up. And so let's just make sure we have everything in there. We have 3 8-ounce packages of cream cheese, a cup of sugar, 3 tablespoons of flour, a can of pumpkin, 15 ounces of pureed pumpkin, a quarter of a cup of sour cream. I did mix that in. I think I forgot to show you that, but I did have that in there. And then my vanilla, cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, ginger. And now we're going to add in 4 eggs, one at a time. So I've cracked them in my bowl, and we're just going to add those in one at a time. Oh, 2 went in, no big deal. Okay, I'm going to stop and give that a good one more time scrape down. Get everything off of the blade here. Okay. Do one more mix, and then we're ready to put that in our prepared crust. Alrighty, I'm going to grab my crust. And mix this in. Okay, so I have my crust. I just wrapped this with some aluminum foil around the bottom, because remember, we're going to put this into water, and I don't want it to leak at all. And now I have my batter all ready to go here. We're just going to put that in. And then we're going to bake this for 100 minutes. It's 1 hour and 40 minutes. At 350. And then when it's done, we are going to just turn the oven off and open the oven door and just leave it in the oven for 30 minutes. And then after that, you're going to want to just chill it really well. Put it in the oven for a good 3 to 4 hours. And then you can take it out of your pan. And then put it on the pan that you want to, or your plate that you want to display it on. And you'll be good to go. Now this is really yummy, served with whipped cream. And you can make a yummy whipped cream topping with heavy whipping cream, whipping that up, put in some powdered sugar, and then put in some like pumpkin pie spices. And then decorate it any way that you want. So we'll come back when this is baked and see our final product. One more thing I just wanted to explain about the water bath. So I have my big lasagna pan. You just have to have a pan that's bigger than your springform pan. I have that in the oven. I put my cheesecake into the water bath, into the pan, and then pour water until it's hard to see in here, but there's water about 1 inch up on the side of the pan. And that just helps to cook the cheesecake more evenly. And there you go, that's the water bath. Alrighty, it's finally time to do the unveiling. I have had this in the refrigerator. I said in the oven in the video earlier, put it in the oven for 3 to 4 hours. No, put it in the refrigerator for 3 to 4 hours. I've taken a knife and just gone around the edge of this, and now we're just going to pop off the ring here. And there is our cheesecake. crumbs coming up the sides. Oh my gosh. Mine did get one little crack over here on the side. It's all right, it's still gonna taste great. So I'm just gonna put it here on my plate. Now, I would make some fancy whipped cream and put that in a pastry bag and just make some stars around the edge of this before I served it, if I was really gonna do this right. But whatever you do, enjoy it. Make sure that it's nice and chilled. Keep it in the refrigerator for as long as you need it before you gobble it up. And enjoy pumpkin cheesecake.